All right, folks, so we're back with another installation video. PCCooler Paladin EX400. I previously installed this with the LGA 1700 or 1851 motherboard. It's Intel. Now we're going to attempt this with the AM4. What do we have on here? Ryzen 3600 XT. One time this was a pretty good CPU. Now, yeah, don't think I would use it for much more than just I don't know. I don't even know what I'd use it for these days. Would I even try and game with it? Probably not. But for the purpose of this video, folks, we're gonna use it. All right, so backing plate, we've got that in. We're gonna want this bag of hardware that's got the orange spacer and 4 black screws in it. Dump that on the deck, and hopefully we'll keep all our hardware. We'll need our CPU fan. So this is how the brackets will look on here, folks, when you get to that point. I've already got it pre-set up because I just pulled this off of a different motherboard. But first thing we want to do is find our brackets. So you need the 2 brackets, these guys. And just a second. Also take a look at our instructions, because you know what? Even me, I need instructions, because I sometimes screw up. All right, so these directions aren't the best in the world, we'll say. You know, if this was in color, it would have been a lot easier. You need E, which is called out right here. Those are the 4 screws. You need, actually it's pointing at the wrong thing. E is shown as the spacer, D is the screw. Yeah, so the lettering is just totally fucked up, folks. Trust me on this though, that you'll want these 2 guys as well as this guy, right? Now, I could see somebody getting completely frustrated with this and just be like, you know what? Screw you guys, sending this shit back, because honestly, if you can't even do the directions correctly, what gives you confidence that the cooler's gonna be worth the crap, right? All right, all that said, so the screws are gonna go through these 2 open holes, or whatever you want to call them, just so we know that part. And what we need to do though is take a look at our fan, okay? We're going to want it oriented this way, and this is a really big fan for micro ATX, or excuse me, for an ITX motherboard, but it'll work for you all. Now, the input-output area, this is, you know, usually the back of your CPU case, right? Well, as far as I've always known it is. So this is where the side that all of the air is going to, hot air is going to exhaust out of. So that said, you're going to want it oriented in this direction, okay? Now, this is a symmetrical design, it appears, for the most part. So it doesn't matter whether it's oriented this way or the other way in this case. Sometimes it does. So why do I bring this up, folks? This is telling me where these screws are, where these need to be, all right? So it needs to look like that, all right? Now the question is whether this goes this way or the other way, right? do we get that kind of information out of the directions? So it actually goes this way, all right? Looking at the directions. And so I'm just going to hand tighten that. And then hand tighten this side. Now, so one thing to say, folks, my preference, honestly, when I'm doing this is 2 hands actually on the Phillips head screwdriver. It's so easy to drop these, and I'll probably drop it in this video. You never know what you could damage, quite honestly. It's good to have, you know, the CPU in there already, to have your RAM in there. But there are other things on this motherboard that could get wrecked. All right. And then we drop this one over here. All right, folks, we're crushing it. Now, the hope is that when we put our CPU cooler on here, that it's going to line up correctly. Before I put my thermal paste on, I always like to check that, okay? Because if I can't get threads on each side of this, then something's wrong, and I'm gonna put thermal paste down that's, you know, I'm gonna regret. Potentially. So one side lined up, both sides lined up, all right? Fantastic job, I must say, so far. This is actually going a lot smoother than when I installed this on the LGA 1700 motherboard. All right, so all kinds of ways to put thermal paste on here. One big blob. You know, sometimes I'll just add a little to the corners, or you could do 5 even dots. You could do lines. You could do, you know, whatever the hell you want. There's, you know, within reason, right? You don't want to put too much thermal paste on there, and you also don't want to put not enough. All right, so here's where we're going to alternate. We want to get a couple threads on there and then go back and forth. I'm just going to show this side. So I'm hopeful this thing, this video isn't completely out of focus with the cooler on here. So we are tightening away. And some videos I'll actually do all the hookups and everything to at least get this going, but for this video, folks, we're just gonna put the fan on and call it good, knowing that I know I did a good job. So you, though, will want to test it out, obviously. All right, here's, once again, our fan. These brackets, see that orientation? So let's talk about the fan first. This is the intake side, right? Big open area. This has the spindle or the supports on it. This is the exhaust side, okay? Very important, you know, intake, exhaust, and how it goes on here. So on the RAM side of this motherboard, would line up with the front of your computer where the vents are, it's going to suck in cool air and push the cool air across this CPU tower, and then it is going to exhaust the hot air out the back, okay? So we want to basically come in here and hook this on here. So this is where this gets kind of annoying, is keeping these things on here, folks. Probably gonna only be able to do one side at a time. Sometimes, yeah, a really good CPU cooler, you'll be able to do both of them at the same time. But all right, so I did that side. This side just keeps popping off. And I guess you do get to see me put those springs back in. Boom, okay? Final step, knowing where your CPU fan header is. It happens to be this spot right here. Your motherboard's probably gonna look different, so check your motherboard manufacturer's information. And this can go in only one way, okay? So, and it's gonna go in like that, and boom, I am done. So you can see it. Thanks for checking out my video. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.